Okay, ladies, this is a presentation about the cause and effect essay, which is the general term. We know that it could be just about the effects, it could be just about the causes, or it could be about the causes and the effects. And it all depends on one simple thing, the prompt, okay? So let's read the prompt together and decide. In today's world, many people enjoy scuba diving. However, it is advocated that this scuba diving actually has serious impacts on the environment. Discuss the effects of scuba diving on the local environment. Okay, so clearly when we read the prompt, it's asking for the effects. That's it. That means that this essay is going to have two main effects. And those two main effects will be developed in the body paragraph, okay? So let's see if that happens, just for fun. It says here, this is the first body paragraph, it says there is a clear and convincing evidence that scuba diving harmed the coral reefs. Okay, so one of the effects is it hurts the coral reefs. Okay, we go to the second body paragraph. Scuba divers also affect the delicate marine life, okay, which is an important aspect of the environment. So the two effects are coral reefs and delicate marine life. Those are the ways that the environment is being affected. And of course, here it says that the marine life is an important aspect of the environment. Without marine life, there really is no value in the oceans, right? So they are certainly part of the problem. They're the ones being affected. Okay. Okay. So good. So now all I have to do is introduce the information. Okay. First, you got a title. This is a good title because it's clearly explaining, it's clearly showing that this essay is about the effects. How is that? Because it says take the toll. Divers take their toll. To take a toll means to impact, to often to damage, okay? So, for example, not getting enough sleep will take a toll on you. It will affect you, okay? Alright, so the title is good. Alright, here in the introduction, it's very important that you give the background information and the background information only, okay? You do not need to give your reasons or explain anything. You're just giving the background information that was already given to you in the prompt, okay? Now let's revisit the prompt. What background information is there? It says people enjoy diving, but it hurts the earth, okay? Now let's see if this is stated, okay? Scuba diving is an interesting and rewarding pastime. PADI, the Professional Association of Dive Instructors, estimates that every month the world welcomes 10,000 scuba divers each month. This is a lot of divers. With the numbers increasing as they are, many people have begun to show concern for the effects of diving on the environment. This clearly gives the same information that's in the prompt. It just does it in its own special way. You can never use the exact wording of the prompt. That will affect your grade, okay? Always reword the prompt in a different way, alright? Then here we have the simple purpose of the whole essay. It's very important that you have this. This essay will discuss the effects that scuba diving has on the environment, okay? Alright, so you've got background information and then purpose of the essay. And that's it, alright? So let's go to the first body paragraph. Topic sentence. Very, very important. When you're writing an essay, any essay, the introductory material is in the introduction only. Once you get to the first body paragraph, you don't need any introductory information. You get right to the topic sentence. There is clear evidence that scuba divers harm the coral reefs. Okay, same thing here. Scuba divers affect the delicate marine life. So these are the two main ways that the environment is being harmed. Okay, one is coral reefs, the other is delicate marine life. This whole paragraph must talk about scuba divers harm the coral reefs. That's it. That's the only thing it can talk about. So the enumeration begins here. Firstly, many scuba divers, because they are not trained properly, kick their fins low to the ground where the corals are located. As a result of this improper diving style, valuable and beautiful corals are knocked down, rendering the corals useless. Okay? That is an explanation of, it's the first support, the first explanation for how divers, or the effects of divers on the coral reefs. Okay? What's the effect? Coral reefs are knocked down and they are rendered useless. I do here mention the reason why, but I only do that in a subordinate way inside a sentence. I don't develop the whole paragraph. The whole paragraph is about the effects, not the causes. Okay? So I say here, another serious effect. You see how clear that is? Another serious effect. So the first effect is divers kicking their fins. You know, they hurt the coral. Okay? They damage it. They kick it. Another serious effect is that many divers think it's acceptable to take corals as souvenirs in their home. This not only undermines the beauty of the reef, but it also violates the law. Okay? Damaging the reef is not the only way that divers harm the environment. Okay? We're going to put this one aside for a minute. Let's not talk about this sentence for a moment. Let's talk about this. The effect is many divers think it's acceptable to take corals in their home. This not only undermines the beauty of the reef, but it also violates the law. That's the effect. The beauty is destroyed. Okay? I could also add something else if I wanted to. I can say, many divers think it's acceptable to take corals as souvenirs to place in their home. This not only undermines the beauty of the coral reef, but it also violates the law. I could change this and say, it also makes it so the fish have no place to hide from predators. Predators are animals that kill other animals. So for example, a lot of fish, they need to hide inside the coral to get away from these predators. So let's see how that works. So here, another serious effect is that many divers think it is acceptable to take corals as souvenirs to place in their home. This not only undermines the beauty of the reef, but it also makes it so the fish have no place to hide from predators. Okay? So there's the effect. The fish have no place. And then I could say, whoops, then I could say, as a result of having no place to hide, comma, the fish are killed quicker than under normal circumstances. Okay? Let's see how that works. This not only undermines the beauty of the reef, but it also makes it so the fish have no place to hide from predators. As a result of having no place to hide, the fish are killed quicker than under normal circumstances. Damaging the reef is not the only way divers harm, so we're going to ignore that for a second. Here, do I talk about the effects? Do I explain the effects that divers have on the environment? Okay? Question is, do I explain it? And the answer is yes. It's very important that you realize that. Now if I say scuba divers hurt the coral reefs, then this whole paragraph must talk about the coral reefs, okay? And about how they're damaged. Okay, and here it says, damaging the reef is not the only way that divers harm the environment. Okay? This is just a transition sentence that goes from this paragraph this paragraph. It's a nice thing to do. It's not required necessarily at this point, but next year it will be something that becomes very important, is that you're making transitions from paragraph to paragraph. So here's just an example. Damaging the reef is not the only way divers harm the environment. Scuba divers also affect the delicate marine life, okay, which is an important aspect of the environment. Right? So, firstly, although divers probably mean no harm, they often do things to scare them. A case in point is what happens when a group of exuberant divers encounter a sea turtle, known for its sensitive nature. Divers, especially in today's camera-laden world, often circle the turtle and take numerous pictures. The turtle sits terrified and unable to escape. This could cause it to have a heart attack and die. Okay, so there's the effect. This could cause it to have a heart attack and die. In addition, In addition to the benign desire to take pictures, divers often do more malicious things to marine life. In some cultures it is common to see a moray eel, for example, and kill it with their knife for no reason at all. Others, however, might kill the marine life for food, which is not as bad morally, but the same result: death for the innocent creatures. Again, there's the effect: death for the innocent creatures. And the other effect was, some marine life will get so scared they have a heart attack, okay? And this is the way scuba divers affect them. So if you look at here there were two main reasons, two main effects that scuba divers have on coral reefs, and here, two main effects that divers have on marine life, all right? In the end, that's a sign of a conclusion. In the end, it's important to know that scuba diving can be done in a safe and environmentally friendly way. It is clear that the local government must advocate for the oceans and implement new regulations so that divers are accountable for their actions and the environment remains safe, okay? Alright. So there we go. Here, the prompt says effects. That means, here's the first effect, and then you talk about it. Here's the second effect, and then you explain it. This paragraph talks about the effects on delicate marine life. This paragraph talks about the effects on the coral reefs. Okay? Begin the paragraph with the topic sentence. Begin the paragraph with the topic sentence. Alright? Read the prompt. Make sure it's okay. Alright? So in the end, it's important to note that scuba diving can be done in a safe and environmentally friendly way. It is clear that local governments must advocate for the oceans and implement new regulations. Now, if you notice here, what did I do? It's the conclusion, so I decided to just offer some solutions. Even though this is not a problem-solution paper, this is the introduction. This is the conclusion. And in the conclusion, you can just say some solutions because it's the end of the essay. It's not the purpose of your essay. The purpose of your essay is to discuss the effects. It just seems to me that the offering some solutions quickly in the conclusion is a nice way to end the essay. So remember, body paragraph 1, effects. Body paragraph number 2, effects. Okay? So that's very important. And remember, this could say, discuss the reasons that scuba diving is hurting the environment. That would be different than the effects, okay? Or this could say, discuss the causes and the effects of scuba diving on the local environment. But the prompt doesn't say that. The prompt says effects, okay? Alright, well, I hope this helps, and I hope you can review this if you feel like you have any doubt. And of course, you can always come and see me. Alright? Thank you for your efforts.